With over 23 years of experience in the stock market, I'm Anthony Calhoun. Welcome to Simplified Profits, where we like to keep things simple. And today we're going to go over a transparent account update. So February was kind of wild. We did hit our February goals, but it wasn't until March 1st. And February we was off a little bit. We were in URA, which was a stubborn trade. We'll go over here in a minute. But if you haven't been following, we started this account in January with $2,000. We're up to about 5,400 start of March. And we've been adding 20% of our income to this account and trying to compound 7 to 8% a month. And if you follow along, I'll show you the compound interest calculator at the end, where we plan on hitting a mill in 5 years without any risky option trading or day trading. We're just taking advantage of swings in the market, putting 20% of our income in every pay period and paying attention to charts and taking advantage of leverage, using leverage ETFs. So no margin, no BS. Right now, our account value is 5408. Our goal, which you'll see at the end when I pull up the transparent or the compound interest calculator, was 5107 for February. So we outpaced our goal. But performance-wise, we were off by about 2.4% in February, or right now to February. So really our goal, I think we had a little bit more income come in. So right now on the compound interest calculator, which we'll look at here in a little bit, we estimated about $1,400 a month, which is 20% of our income to go into this. I want to say in February we had a little bit more than that. And we'll go over that here in a little bit. And check out our previous videos. You can see all the transactions, all the deposits. This is as transparent as possible. So this is what we're in right now. This is our account. You can see the actual account value here, 5408.32. This is what we entered on Friday. We exited URA with a small profit. I want to say it was about 0.5%. We'll look at that here in a second. We'll look at our trades. And right now, so we're going to look at these charts here in a minute, but semiconductors are on fire. I mean, the entire market's getting bought up. Any small pullback. We usually don't trade breakouts, but we are in this case. We exited URA and jumped in SOXL. We entered at 47.35. Right now it's 48.50, 48.52. We're up about 2% on that from our Friday entry. And we went all the way in on this, which is something I normally don't do, but we really just swapped out positions. We were all the way in URA, and we just went ahead and swapped all the way over in semiconductors. And I'm not really sweating it because, like we always teach and preach, don't enter nothing if you're not scared to. If you're scared to hold on to it for 10 years. Okay, semiconductors, I mean, it's almost like the next gold rush. I mean, every computer, car, device needs semiconductors. They're not going away anytime soon. Companies are on backlog. So we may let this ride. I don't even know if we'll end up selling it. We'll see what we do with this position. We'll continue to get 20% of our income to make other trades, but we may lock in profit. Who knows? We'll see. I think it's going to be an exciting March. So let me jump in. Let me show you the trades we made. I'll show you URA, how we exited that. Give me 1 second. As you can see, we exited URA here, made like $30. It's, I think it was about 0.5% gain. Now, I still does not change anything I believe in URA, okay? So I still think uranium's going to be big. I still think so if you look, there is a nuclear energy summit coming up the end of the month. And URA's probably got another good 14, 15% run before it touches its previous highs. And I think that'll happen this month. So either way, if I was in that, I think we'd be good. I think we would clear February and March goals with that one trade. But we went ahead and exited and swung into semiconductors. And we'll get into that chart here in a minute. And let me just pull up real quick. Let's take a quick look at our performance. Bear with me. Let me swap over to that. So this is our performance. Right now, we're up 11.64%. So we should have closed out February up 14%, but we didn't. And I'll show you the stock charts, how we entered URA. and how we manage that position. Because we really, if we didn't manage that position and lower our cost average, we wouldn't have been able to lock in profit on Friday. So bear with me. We'll get to the stock charts here in a minute. Right now, we're up 11.64%. February, like I said, was a bust. March already, we were up 5.42%. For a cumulative gain of 11.64% so far for the year. Now, keep in mind, some people hope to hit that in a year. We're up already first 2 months, beginning of the third month, 11.64%, outpacing the market. S&P 500 is only up 7.7%, NASDAQ 8.42%, Dow Jones 3.7%, NASDAQ 100 up 8. So we're beating the market, and I think as soon as the semiconductor, I'll wait till we get to the charts for that, but I think we're going to have a really good March ahead for us. And let's take a real quick look at the stock charts, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. Let me swap over to that. All right. So here is the stock charts. This is SOXL. So this is the leverage version. And let's jump into URA real quick. So URA, this is what we entered. And we entered it right here. As you can see, we are still 3.5% away from our original entry. So the good thing is we didn't go all the way in there. We kind of continued to lower our cost average as it went down, and our average was 28.21, and we locked in profit. You can see the transaction that we just showed you. We went ahead and locked in profit on Friday. Now, I believe this will retest its previous highs. If you look at the chart, I mean, look at the videos for nuclear energy, the summit coming up. I mean, I don't think all these green, clean energy numbers are going to be hit without nuclear energy. Okay, so I still think it's a good investment for the long term. I think this trade is still a good trade. But when you jump into SMH, this thing is just on fire. I mean, I've been waiting for a pullback in it. So we actually entered down here. So we don't really cover breakouts and simplified profits because a lot of times you enter a breakout, it's a fake breakout. It's a false breakout, especially on single stocks. ETFs are a little different, and you can see all the different breakouts here, but we like to wait till it's oversold. So we actually entered here, SOXL, at the beginning of the year. This was our first trade, and it kind of got real weak right here. We was expecting that to be the top because last year it did run 70, and it really didn't pull back at all. This thing continued to really pump out gains. But if you've read the Simplified Profits books, if not, pick them up. Really good books. But you'd be up, I want to say, almost 100% from, like, we would have just held this position, be up 90% in 2 months. That's crazy gains. Really insane gains. And go back to SMH chart. So if you would have held, so that was overbought. We usually sell when it's overbought. But at the same time, there's two editions of Simplified Profits. One is a long-term, how I handle my long-term position accounts, and one is our trading account. So on our long-term position account, we would have added SOXL on this and just let it ride, and then added any other pullback. When we're trading it, we normally trade the pullbacks right here, right here, right here to the oversold position. So this thing, any pullback, as you can see, these pullbacks usually span about a month, month and a half, and we're already out to 2 months. I think this thing will hit 250 here sooner than later. Before the next pullback, I'm predicting this will hit. Mark this video. Don't put your money on it. Put your money to work how you want to put your money to work. This is all for educational purposes. But I say this thing hits 250 before its next real pullback, and that would take SOXL up to probably about $60. I'm going to say actually more than that, because SMH will go up. If SMH runs up 12%, SOXL should technically run up over 30%. Man, that's crazy. So SOXL probably hit $65 before a pullback. That's my personal opinion. This is a rare market. Usually you see swings pretty consistent. Any little small pullback is getting bought up on this. Even when data comes out that the Feds may keep rates high, it doesn't matter. It's getting, I just clicked Lilly just because I do like that stock. and we've been calling pullbacks on that as well. If you don't follow the channel, you should probably hit subscribe, turn on your notifications. But yeah, we're in semiconductors right now. We're going to let this run. And where we stop, I don't know. I don't know if we may keep this position, because you got to understand, if you're using your income is the greatest tool you have to build wealth. Okay, so if we're putting 20% of our income into the market, well, into our account every pay period, we're only 2 months in to the year. We let this position ride and use the other 10 months to trade the market. So we'll see what happens, but semiconductors are looking strong. All right. And I'm a big fan of teaching against the fear of missing out. I'm not jumping in this for the fear of missing out. I'm jumping in this because I'm also a big fan of teaching reading stock charts and reading investor psychology, which is the stock chart. And I think this thing's about to rip. I've been doing this for 23 years, and very rarely do you see the market just not pull back like this. Like this, to me, this looks strong. It's kind of really hard to explain unless you've kind of looked at stock charts every day for the last 23 years, maybe less than that, but you get what I'm saying. So that's where our account is sitting. So there's two ways you can take the market. So I was talking to somebody about BWXT because they compared another stock to it, and this is one we've built a position. If you follow me on any of my stock twits or makecashwork.com, we've been building this position since last January, and we're up 70% on it. And somebody else tried to compare some space stock company to this, which is burning through cash. I should have really remembered the ticker. I do not. I think it was Rocket something. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it. Yeah, I think this is it right here. But this company is, I could be wrong. They were comparing this stock to BWXT. This is speculative. This is a gamble. This is a risk. This company isn't making any money. Whereas BWXT, they're actually making money. And man, I would tell you to check out their last earnings. Very good company. But anyways, I don't take this market as gambling. Okay. I don't like taking that big of a risk. I look at it as a way to build generational wealth. And that's what this transparent account is going to show, because we are going to continue to grind with our income in this market and compound profits. So if you're looking for somewhere where you can find gambling type trades, which I just did a video on some possible trade opportunities, because the market's been getting boring, ladies and gentlemen. It hasn't pulled back, haven't really offered a lot of opportunities. So these tickers I'm going through right now are just some I threw out there for possible swing trades, but they're all risk and gambles. Okay, these are under $10. Nothing I ever really enter, and I didn't enter any. I was actually thinking about entering PAL. I did not. But I got a lot of different accounts. I got a long-term income investing account, which we were just in NTAP because it's in my dividend list and it was oversold. So for instance, in my long-term dividend account, if you read Simplify Profits, this is how we basically grow our long-term account. We entered this because if you go through S&P 500, look at bullish stock charts and dividends, it had a decent dividend, and we just really had a great gain in this, 23%, but it was up as much as 32%. And we entered that here. And same with STX. We just entered that on a pullback. So pick up the books and kind of decide what you want to do with the stock market. Do you want to use it as a casino, or do you want to use it as a tool to build wealth? Because you can do both. I recommend here, probably the first 12 years I used it as a casino. First 12 years I was in the market. I'm recommending use it for a wealth building tool, because you could really watch your money. It's a great feeling to watch your money print more money. Really, really is. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you kind of got the gist of the transparent account, where we're at. I feel like I forgot something. I'm not really seeing it in my notes, so I guess not. So I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Leave any feedback, subscribe, turn on your notifications. I'm out.